In this video, I will explain in detail about proof of funds required for Canada Express entry. I will tell about the basic details, type of funds accepted, and will also share important tips. If you are interested, then stay tuned. Hello everyone, I am Manpreet from Immigration Talks Canada and I regularly upload videos on Canada immigration. If you haven't subscribed my channel yet, then please click on the subscribe button so that you don't miss out any of my video. Alright guys, this is one of the most asked questions for those making their plans to move to Canada. The financial proof or the proof of funds is one of the required documents for the most of those who want to study, work or immigrate to Canada. Why do I need financial proof to live in Canada? The answer is, for most cases, the Canadian government requires those who intend to immigrate to Canada prove that they have enough money to support themselves for their initial period in the country while they settle in Canada without counting on additional income or salary. How much money you will need? The amount of money you need to support your family depends on the size of your family, and to calculate the size of your family, you must include yourself, your partner or your spouse, your dependent children, and your spouse dependent children. This table shows the minimum amount you need to immigrate to Canada. If you have more money, you should list the full amount in your profile or application. Here you can see for each additional family member, you have to add $3,492 per member. So the next question is, what is accepted as proof of funds? Before discussing that, I would like to share some points with you that these funds must be readily available to you. If your spouse is coming with you, you can count money you have together in a joint account. You may be able to count money in an account under the spouse name only, but you must prove that you have access to that money. Here I have shared some type of proof of funds that are accepted. The first thing is saving or current bank balance, FD balances, provident funds, and for the provident funds you should note that you can use only EPF balances, that is employment provident funds, and not the PPF balances, as PPF balances can't be liquidated in entirely. Another type is equity, mutual funds or liquid funds. However, there is one condition. Though the value changes on a daily basis for these funds, you can value these investments at the lowest traded rate over the last 6 months and attach an explanation letter for the same. Here it is an important tip. As a thumb rule, it's always better to show proof of funds well in excess of the minimum amount required for the immigration. Also, wherever in doubt, attach an explanation letter and you should be fine. For instance, if the requirement for the two family member as per IRCC is $16,000, then it is advisable to show the proof of funds for the minimum of $18,000. For proof of funds, you must get official letters from any banks or financial institutions where you are keeping money, and these letters must be printed on the financial institution's letterhead. It should include their contact information like address, telephone number and email address. It should also include your name, list outstanding the debts such as credit card debts and loans. It should include for each current bank and investment account the account number, the date each account was opened, current balance of each account, and average balance for the past 6 months. Here I have shared the sample for the bank balance certificate where all these things are mentioned. Sometimes there is a hurdle that several large banks have fixed formats for the most of their letters and show little flexibility when it comes to accommodating IRCC's requirement. You obviously don't have the powers to change the format that banks have. It is at the discretion of the bank officials to modify their letters. Some bank officials oblige and some don't. And who don't? For those, here it is an important tip that could be helpful for you. If your letter doesn't show the average monthly balance, then you can provide your 6 months bank statements highlighting savings and explain your situation through the letter of explanation. What can't be used as what can't be used as proof of funds? Any asset which can't be readily liquidated and the price of which can't be ascertained immediately can't be used to meet the proof of funds requirement. Therefore, real estate assets, stocks, etc. can't be used as POF. Here I have shared some tips that could be helpful for you. As a rule of thumb, any funds that can be liquidated on demand and on face value may be accepted as POF if you meet the majority of your POF over the required age and makes small deposits nearer to your application to meet the fund requirement, then you may not have to prove the source of such deposit. The proportion of the deposit should not be more than 10 to 20% of total value if you don't wish to show their source. It's also a good idea to clearly mention the details of your POF if they are not in the required format as per IRCC. Don't leave it to their automatic understanding. And the last thing about the proof of funds is the age of funds requirement. IRCC asks for an official letter from the bank that states the account details, liabilities, and average monthly balances for the last 6 months. This doesn't mean that CIC wants to see these funds to be 6 months old. This requirement is simply to check if there is any recent large deposits in your account contributing to the POF requirement, and there are, then these must not be borrowed or a loan. Progressive buildup of funds over the last few months through savings, deposits, sale of assets is all acceptable and fine. So if you have any large deposits contributing to your POF, then be prepared to show a source of these funds and explain this in your letter of explanation. It's all about the proof of funds. And guys, if you have any queries, then you can post it in the comment box. If you find this video informative, then please like it, share it, and don't forget to subscribe my channel.